What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. And let me get this straight. So, a shooting takes place over in New Zealand that has nothing to do with us. Of course, they tried to pin it on us by saying, well, it's because of Donald Trump's rhetoric. That's the only reason that this crazy madman decided to go and just start shooting up a bunch of innocent people. It was all because of Donald Trump somehow. Maybe he sent them a message, some mental telepathy or something. Maybe this guy just absorbed Donald Trump's racism and nationalism through osmosis, something like that. But nonetheless, the media tried to pin it on us. But see, here's what is brought out, and this is how you always can tell what the real goal and agenda is from the Democrats. Soon as something happens, a tragedy, watch and see how they respond and how drastic they respond and how far they respond. They go way over all the practical solutions and answers, always straight to the top. That's what I call them, straight to the top. They never just take baby steps, always straight to the top. So you take, for example, soon as the shooting took place and they saw that this guy mentioned Donald Trump, you got New Zealand's, I guess, government caving to the demands of the shooter. Now, here's a guy who said what he wanted to happen, and they're doing it. That's what makes I can't even understand it. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I used to crack up a little bit when I would read scriptures, and, you would read the Old Testament, and it would prophesy what was going to happen in the New Testament. Then the people come along in the New Testament, and they're reading the prophecy, and they're going, wait, that's talking about me. Well, maybe I shouldn't do what the prophecy said I need to do. If the prophecy said that I'm going to betray Jesus and kiss him on the cheek, and I just read that, then maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't betray him and kiss him on the cheek. Maybe I should just try to see if I could change my own destiny. Well, this guy went ahead and did that. He said, you know what? I want y'all to respond or overreact when it comes down to the gun laws, and I want that to spark off some tension in America as well. Now, here's a guy just verbally saying what he wants to happen. And the people listening to him, that's in power, did exactly what he wanted to happen. So instead of saying, you know what, bunk that, we're not going to let one crazy person determine whether we can bear arms. In fact, we probably need more people that have weapons to stop somebody who's crazy like that. I'm just saying, I believe there was somebody at one of the locations that had a gun that made this guy have to leave that particular location. I mean, you want somebody to be able to resist a little bit. I mean, you can't just fire off on people like, fish in a barrel if you're getting shot back at. I'm just saying, it kind of breaks your concentration. You're like, man, I was just focused on shooting people that's running all over the place, but now I'm worried about being shot. See, put the pressure on them. Get on the offense instead of the defense. But guess what our politicians over here do? Alexandria, Cortez. Now that's the way leadership looks. You're supposed to do that. So now they're praising New Zealand for banning assault weapons. Now, I mean, what is an assault weapon? I don't know. I think these people just make this stuff up because assault weapons is any weapon that will save your life. You wanted to assault someone. If I had to fight for my life, I don't care what I use. It now becomes an assault weapon. My fist, slingshot, it doesn't matter. Harsh language, whatever I am doing to save my own life, that's now an assault weapon. But then they're also talking about semi-automatics. Well, that means that I think in their little law or whatever, broke it all the way down to 5 rounds in your gun. And what does Bernie Sanders do? He praises this about how America need to follow suit. That's real leadership. So what are you saying, Bernie? What are you saying, Alexandria? You're saying because New Zealand caved to some demands of a terrorist, we should do that? You're telling me since New Zealand doesn't have the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, you mean to tell me that we should just throw ours away? You're telling me that we should just say, you know what? Let's be like the other countries because they're better than us. Let's go ahead and be like them and get rid of all these guns immediately. Go straight to the top. Don't sit back and say, you know what, maybe we should approach this practically in stages or steps or deal with individuals that act a fool and not punish the masses. That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, you cannot tell me that, okay, based on the amount of car accidents that happen throughout the whole year, we now going to take everybody's license. Yeah, because of the few people who might get caught texting and bump into the back of somebody and this and that, we're just going to go ahead and assume that the rest of you are irresponsible drivers and we're going to take all your licenses. No more driving. Bye-bye. Bye-bye driving. Or you'll be restricted to only driving a moped. Yeah, we're going to break your car down all the way to just a moped. You got to have the bare necessities because we don't trust that you can handle driving the car properly. That's ridiculous, but it shows what they're really doing. It is not about gun safety. It is completely about power control over society. And they know here in America, I hate to say this, but when I think about having guns, I don't necessarily worry about criminals per se, or some person who is just crazy, get fired, wife leave them, and then, you know what I'm doing? I'm going into work today and I'm taking everybody out. I don't necessarily worry about that. I worry more so about people like Bernie Sanders, Alexandria Cortez, and the rest of the Democrats that are gunning for our guns. Because after you take that away, there's very little resistance at that point. And I'm not advocating, some type of revolt or something like that. But just in case, when you start seeing them pushing things like fascism, when you start seeing them tampering with all of the way our government has worked, we're going to get rid of the Electoral College. We're about to get rid of Supreme Court justice. We need to add those. We need changing voter ages, the stuff that they're doing, attacking free speech. These are things that make Americans get a little concerned and say, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? Why y'all always wanting to get in our mix, in our business? Why you always want to change things that's been working for years? See, why can't y'all just mind y'all own business, Democrats? Or should I say Democrats, demon rats, Democrats, and all the other names I could come up with. Anyway, check me out every Wednesday night, 7:30 live in Kevin's Corner on YouTube. Also, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. And my radio blog talk show link is in the bottom of this video as well. Check out Extreme Tees. The link for them is also in the bottom. When you click on it, please just put my name in the promo code, Kevin, and you'll get a 20% discount. And if you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, there's links in the bottom. Do that as well. All right, God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner. And stay away from my guns, because I know my rights. Darn it. Know the constipation.